What's going on, guys? Zuco back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing very well. We're on the Mistweaver again. I want to talk about how to do damage on the Mistweaver. So we're going to jump into excuse me, dungeon footage of me doing that right now. But I want to cover a couple of basic things right off the bat. If you were to ask, you know, past Zuco, like 3 weeks ago, Zuco, how important Zen Pulse was to your damage, he would tell you it's not that important. But you should definitely not listen to past Zuco. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So future Zuco's here, and this is a very important spell. And there's a couple of little things you need to make sure that you're doing well in order to do solid AoE damage on a Mistweaver. Number one is, of course, casting Zen Pulse, but you also need to take this talent, Echoing Reverberation. Now, this adds a little bit of a wrinkle to the Zen Pulse damage effect, but you can see if you do it correctly, it ends up doing like 10% of your damage. It's really, really strong over the course of a dungeon. If you're also just getting into Mistweaver and you maybe have low gear, I picked up this trinket. It's called the Drogbar Rocks. I love these things. I have them at 411. They don't really go up very high. This is the highest I think they can go right now. They're found in the Zarelek Caverns down here. It'll just be a world quest that has them. I don't know if it's up right now. But there's lots of trinkets down here. This is the satchel, another trinket that I was thinking to get of trying to get. It's more of a defensive trinket, excuse me. But these Drogbar Rocks were up a little while ago, and I believe it was an elite quest. So you just have to keep your eyes peeled for when this pops up again. But this sucker does a lot of damage. It doesn't give you main stat, which is not the best, but it does so much damage for you. It gives you crit, which is really, really good on Mistweaver, and it ends up always doing like 7% of my damage or more, which is insane. So don't sleep on this trinket. It's actually really good. As we kind of get more gear, I'm 430 right now, so this is a little bit low. I'm gonna have to replace this eventually with like a raid trinket, but if you're just kind of getting going, this is a really good trinket that does a lot of damage. On top of that, crit is very, very important. It's always important for healers to have crit, but for Mistweaver in particular, because you deal damage and heal at the same time, your crit double dips, right? If you do damage and it crits, your heal that gets produced from that damage will also crit. This is really, really important. Lots of other healers, they're just healing, and so crit is fine for them. If you heal with a crit, it's very good. But as a Mistweaver, you're dealing damage, and the damage that you deal will turn into healing. Ancient Teaching says this: after you cast Essence Font, Phalanx Stomp, your Tiger Palm, Black Oak Kick, Rising Sun Kick heal nearby injured allies for 150% of the damage that they deal, meaning if they crit, you're just getting way more healing out of it, right? Exact same thing for Awakened Phalanx. Your Spinning Crane Kick heals 3 nearby allies for 75% of the damage that it deals. So if it crits, then it's doing a lot of extra damage. So if we stomp here and I just start spinning, look at those crits over there. Every time I crit these guys, it crits these guys over here, right? So same with if I'm doing my Black Oak Kick rotation. It's just really, really good. So that's what you want to make sure you're investing in. That's why I think the Drogbar Rocks are actually a very good trinket, because they give you crit, and you're going to want to get a lot of it. Also, if you're looking at getting more crit easily, the Iced Phial of Corrupting Rage is a good one to do as well. When I turn this sucker on, it gives me 1,000 crit, which gives me to 31. So just a couple of notes there. If you're just getting into gearing, Drogbar Rocks is good. Make sure you're using the Ice Phial of Corrupting Rage, and then I would try to get as much crit on your gear as you can possibly get. It's very, very important. Let me run back down here again. Now, let me talk about my opening rotation for damage for Mistweaver. I'm going to show you the video right now, and then I will show you it like in slow motion. This is going to be the real-time dungeon that I was doing, and then I'm going to show you kind of in slow motion how you want to end up doing this, okay? So this is a really, really big pack. The bigger the pack, the better for us. Here's what you want to be doing. You want to start getting your Renewing Mists out right away. Just always have those going pre-pull. Then right before the pull happens, you want to pop any trinkets you have. I have the Spoils trinket. I think I pocket here. Maybe I don't. Then what you want to do is press Phalanx Stomp, get it on the ground, okay? Then Thunder Focus T plus Enveloping Mist on your tank. You're going to see I'm going to do it right here. Here comes Phalanx Stomp, okay? Then I Thunder Focus T, and I'm going to Enveloping Mist my tank right now. Boom. Then I'm going to Zen Pulse my tank. Why? Because of reverberation, right? Zen Pulse triggers a second time on targets with Enveloping Mist. So your Thunder Focus Tea will make your Enveloping Mist instant cast. So again, this is the combo. We Feline Stomp into a Thunder Focus Tea into an Enveloping Mist. Here it goes. Feline Stomp, Thunder Focus Tea, Enveloping Mist, Zen Pulse right now. Watch my damage on the left side. I'm doing 142k overall. 500k from a Zen Pulse. Look at how much damage. That just did like 400,000 damage all on its own. Then I'm spinning. I'm spinning because there's tons of targets. If you have like 4 or 5 targets or more, 5+ targets, you want to spin. Because it just does lots of damage and lots of healing. Make sure you're near your Feline when you're doing it. And our overall damage here was hovering around 100k. 100k as a healer. Right? So remember. Here's the opener here. Feline Stomp right now. That's step 1. Step 2, Thunder Focus Tea. Step 3, Enveloping Mist. Step 4, Zen Pulse the target with Enveloping Mist on them. Don't forget that. Or it won't trigger twice. And then your damage will go up to 90k, 80k, 105k. I'm doing over 100k DPS right now. So this is how you're going to do damage in Mythic Plus in AoE. This is mostly it right here. The other button that you want to press that I do weave in there is my Chi Burst. I'm casting it right now. So right now I'm doing 87k. When my Chi Burst goes off here, I go up to 96k. So in AoE situations, Chi Burst is huge. You want to make sure you weave that in as well to make the damage work. So let me just show you on the dummies real quick. We'll do it in slow motion. Let's pretend like I'm walking into a pull right now. I'm going to pre-hot, Renewing Mist, Renewing Mist. I'm going to run in here, pop my Trinket. Feline Stomp. I'm going to spin just for good measure. I'm going to Thunder Focus Tea and then Enveloping Mist the tank. Pretend I'm the tank. And then, there we go. I'm going to do my Zen Pulse and it triggers twice. And then I'm doing lots of extra damage. And then we weave in a Chi Burst and we keep going. Now, we'll do it again in real time. Let me show you that again in real time. But that's how you want to be doing it. It's that combo. You need to get used to doing it. Now, you might think, well, Zuco, I want to use my Thunder Focus Tea like defensively. No, you don't. You want to use it on the tank every single time like this. Once you get into a pull, once you get into a longer fight and Thunder Focus Tea comes back off cooldown, realistically, guys, you should always be using it to pull off this combo every single time. You have lots of other buttons that are going to heal people. And also, when you use Thunder Focus Tea and you put it on the tank, they're going to get value out of that Enveloping Mist anyway. The Enveloping Mist is going to heal them. They're going to be taking damage because they're a tank, right? So, again, one more time. Renewing Mist, Feline Stomp, Thunder Focus Tea, Enveloping Mist, Zen Pulse. And then we spin. Then we do Chi Burst and we spin. Spin, spin, spin. And then we'll do another Feline. Spin, spin, spin. And then you might have to start doing some other stuff, okay? So just keep that in mind. That is exactly how your DPS rotation will go in AoE. If you want to do maximum damage, that's how you can pull it off. Very important step to always be using your Thunder Focus Tea on an Enveloping Mist when possible in order to get that Zen Pulse damage. You want that thing to trigger twice. If it doesn't trigger twice, it really isn't going to do a lot of damage. That's just the bottom line. Let me just grab one thing here again. It's really important that you do that combo correctly. If you don't, it just ends up not working at all. So let me just keep going a little bit on the dungeon here. I'll show you one more time this opening sequence. Feline Stomp. Feline Stomp, Thunder Focus Tea, Enveloping Mist the tank, and then boom, we Zen Pulse the tank. Now, what's really nice about Thunder Focus Tea and Zen Pulse is that they're both on a 30-second cooldown, right? So you can basically always use your Thunder Focus Tea on an Enveloping Mist and then Zen Pulse right after to get big damage. So there's our big opening sequence there. Here's the next pack. Again, you might be wondering, like, well, do I save Zen Pulse in order to use it in certain moments? And the answer is, generally speaking, no. I'm saving it right now because I thought he was going to pull more than 2 mobs. He's only pulling these 2 mobs. So I pop Thunder Focus Tea, I Enveloping Mist the tank, and I hit another Zen Pulse right now. Boom. And then my damage goes up to like 30, 40k. So this is how you're going to kind of maintain that damage overall. Now he decides to pull into the next pack. So now I'm a little frustrated because I would have saved Zen Pulse in that situation if he was going to pull more. But you just have to work with it. Whatever the tank ends up giving you, you got to kind of work with it and do your best to make the situation what it is. But yeah, now we're into a Chi-Ji window. I'm just doing damage and healing with Enveloping Mist. Now, I just did an Enveloping Mist right there. My Zen Pulse is off cooldown. I'm going to press it to get more damage out. This is how you get your damage. You have to manage this Zen Pulse cooldown correctly, or else you just won't have any damage in the dungeon overall. That's just the way it is. So make sure you're dealing with that. As far as bursting week goes, I'll say really quickly here, when you get big stacks of bursting going off, Shaylin's Gift is the best thing to deal with that. So I do a Shaylin's Gift into a instant cast Vivify, and boom, everybody goes basically back to full. So near the end of every pull, you can basically be using your Shaylin's Gift plus an instant cast Vivify to get everybody back to full again. Now, my Zen Pulse is back off cooldown. I have a desync Thunder Focus Tea, unfortunately. The other way that you can get your Zen Pulse proc off is by bubbling. Your bubble will add a Renewing Mist and an Enveloping Mist to the target, as long as you have this talent right here, Mists of Life. So your Life Cocoon is going to add Renewing Mist and Enveloping Mist. That Enveloping Mist becomes your trigger point for your Zen Pulse. So you can see I bubble the tank right here. Boom. He's good to go. No, I could bubble anybody. Could have bubbled the Rogue or anybody else. Somebody who's going to be nearby the targets that I want to hit. Then I Zen Pulse the tank again, and I get my damage going again. That's the other important thing to remember about Zen Pulse. It only triggers around the target that you have the Enveloping Mist, or whoever you target, it's only going to be in an area around them. So if you cast it on a ranged ally, it's going to Zen Pulse around that ranged ally. So be very, very careful what you do with that. You only want to basically do it on the tank or another person who's going to be in melee, or else the damage is just not going to be there. Okay? So that's it, guys. That's just what I wanted to talk about in terms of dealing damage. That's the most important thing for dealing damage on a Mistweaver. The only other things to think about is, again, if you have 4 or 5 plus targets, you want to be pressing your Spinning Crane Kick to deal damage. Make sure you're using Chi Burst on cooldown to get that damage out. Otherwise, when you're in single target situations, you're just doing your regular rotation where you're resetting your Rising Sun Kick. So we do this. Here we go. I'll do a Zen Pulse to front. Rising Sun Kick. Then I do Blackout Kick to get Rising Sun Kick. Didn't get it. Blackout Kick again. There, I got my Rising Sun Kick back. Tiger Palm. Blackout Kick. Tiger Palm. Blackout Kick. Didn't get Rising Sun. Tiger Palm. Blackout Kick. Got my Rising Sun Kick back. Tiger Palm. Blackout Kick. There, I got my Rising Sun Kick back. Sometimes you can Thunder Focus Tea your Rising Sun Kick. If you're on a single target encounter, that's a really good way to use it because the Zen Pulse damage is not as important there. But again, you're just basically Phalanx Stomp, Rising Sun Kick, and then your Blackout Kick, try and get it back. Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick. When you're on your Phalanx Stomp, remember, guys, that your Tiger Palm will strike twice, okay? While on Phalanx Stomp, Tiger Palm strikes twice, and your Spinning Crane Kick does heals people. That's important because your Tiger Palm striking twice means you only have to cast Tiger Palm once, and then you can cast Blackout Kick right away, and your Blackout Kick will kick multiple times, and that's the most efficient way to do it. It used to be, back in the day, you had to go Tiger Palm, then Blackout Kick in order to build up the stacks of Teachings of the Monastery. You don't have to do that anymore. You just Tiger Palm once, and then Blackout Kick once. But you have to be on your Phalanx in order to make that happen. So make sure you're standing on your Phalanx, okay? That's it for damage. I really wanted to hone in on the Zen Pulse thing. I hope you guys can, if you're playing Mistweaver and you're struggling to do damage, I hope this helps you understand the importance of Zen Pulse and how to get the most out of it. Make sure you're just basically always using that Thunder Focus Tea on an Enveloping Mist on the tank, and then Zen Pulse the tank, and you're going to get the double proc from Echoing Reverberation. It's going to be lots of damage, all right? Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.